public policy in Ohio. No one is allowed to profit from their criminal acts. One of the fundraisers on this Give, Send, Go campaign is the defendant's wife. That's his family directly profiting. Now, it's not up to the Attorney General or the legislature to dig in and see where that money went, how it was spent. Was it used for counsel? Was it used for something else? You're right. Criminal defendants are entitled to a defense. That's not what these pages say they're for. There's no accountability about how these funds are distributed. They can write whatever they want to circumvent and use the argument, circumvent this public policy and use the argument we just raised about this is for my criminal defense. I guarantee you this money is not being used for criminal defense dollars. I'll step aside, but before I do, let me finish with one more thing. Give, Send, Go has rules for service, terms of business, where they have guidelines for what they will and will not accept on their platform. Those comments you just read, and many more just like them, are a clear violation of their own terms of service that they do not enforce. Under the law, if you assume a duty, you fulfill that duty, or you face consequences for not doing so.
Down the street and everybody weighs us with a full hand. There's hatred toward us, we know that. You can ask any policeman up here, they deal with the same thing. If we let our emotions get the best of us when we're dealing with the public, we're not doing our job.
Let me just add here, this is two separate cases. So the people are responding to the use of force critical incident involving Ryan Hinton. That is completely different than what we're talking about here today. Why all of us are here is because his father used his motor vehicle as a deadly weapon. That's what's not okay. Now let's not conflate these two issues. And you in the media can and should help educate the public that these are not the same case.
Now, before I start this video, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank G on TikTok for the story. So you have an Ohio Attorney General was upset because people raised 50 grand for Rodney Hinton Jr.'s defense. Now, for those of you that don't know or crawl under a rock, Rodney Hinton Jr. is basically in prison for the deletion of a Ohio sheriff's deputy in retaliation of what happened to his son, that his son, Ryan Hinton, was gunned down by Cincinnati police. So now they're upset because, they raised 50 grand after Give, Send, Go in Rodney Hinton's defense. Let me tell you something. And I know I'm going to do this because it happened in different states, but it's always happened all the time. Y'all don't have any problems raising money for George Zimmerman when he deleted Trayvon Martin. Y'all don't have any problems, raising money for ex-officer Darren Wilson in the deletion of Mike Brown. Y'all don't have any problems raising money for Kyle Rittenhouse after he deleted 2 BLM protesters and injured 1. And what about Tim Lohman? Remember, in your state, in Cleveland, how they raised money for him and his defense as an ex-officer after he deleted Tamir Rice. Oh, and you forgot about what's going on with Daniel Penny, how you raised $1 million with Daniel Penny's defense after he deleted Jordan Neely. Now I know didn't happen but it does happen in Ohio, however, when you basically, and keep in mind, they still basically, you have to understand that, yeah, it happened in different states and happened in different situations, but it always hits the same. Now, he has the audacity to talk about, well, this is the two different cases. No. The officer haven't been arrested yet for the deletion of Ryan Hinton. He hasn't been arrested yet. Why? Nothing happens to that officer yet. He say, he's got a place on administrative leave pending an investigation. That 18-year-old young man was gunned down by Cincinnati police. But then y'all want to change cases. No, don't do that. Wow, you're mad because, they're raising money for Rodney Hinton Jr.'s defense. But y'all didn't say anything about Tim Loman in Cleveland, how they raised money on him after he deleted Tamir Rice. And then you have raising money for George Zimmerman, deleted Trayvon Martin. And then you got Darren Wilson, who raising money for the deletion of Mike Brown. And then you have the same about raising money for, Kyle Rittenhouse, who went to a different thing, deleted, and got money for him. And then there's Daniel Penny, who raised $1 million for the deletion in Jordan Neely, even though Jordan Neely wasn't even a threat to him. But see, the problem is that they fear that black people will come together. We'll raise money, and we're on code. Just like you guys are on code on your people, we're on code on ours too. And they don't like that. See, they thinking because a white person can delete a black man or a black woman or black people, period, they can walk out scot-free. Nothing's ever happened to him. And it happens when it comes to police officers. But whoa, if we retaliate against them, take them down, that's a problem. Oh yeah, it's a death penalty. Wait a minute. But yet y'all not doing anything to the officer that deleted his son? How he shot him twice in the back? I mean, yes, finally they identified who the officer was, but where's the accountability with that? When are you going to press charges against him for deleting this man? I don't hear nothing. But yeah, y'all big and mad. Y'all big mad because people out here are raising funds for Rodney Hinton after he was hurt because one of your officers gunned down his son. And then y'all not gonna do anything. Y'all not even gonna do anything about it because he's wearing a badge. Get real with that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.